This is a PowerWorks podcast short with Glenn Power and me, James Pikeway. So let's move on to the Bentley. What's going on with the Bentley in here?
Right, so we've kind of inherited this car sort of incomplete from somewhere else that was supposed to have completed it.
Oh, how often does that happen?
A lot.
So that's this is that thing that I constantly say to people, and we've heard it over and over again, is you can go and get your vehicle done cheaply. There are many places to get a vehicle fixed cheaply, and I get it because I don't want to spend money like anyone else, but I always end up spending the cash. And if you go for the cheap route, 9 times out of 10, you're going to go and spend more money to get someone else to fix it because it is not going to work.
I'm not going to name any names
here. No, we don't name names.
But I can't name the establishment because I don't know what it was, but we have a customer, and it's a good customer, and he's a really, really good guy. And he has an Audi Q3, so obviously right in our... Okay. That's exactly what we work on. That is our bread and butter, Q3. 2-litre turbocharged engine, so the most common engine in this region, really. And bread and butter for us. Now, it drove, lost oil pressure, engine failed.
Did the person stop driving it when it lost oil pressure, or did they keep going?
No, it kept going. Engine failed. Anyway.
So just a reminder to everyone, once again, oil pressure.
That was a flashing red light.
Yeah,
well.
if the lights are flashing, especially oil, pull over immediately.
And on that car, it says stop engine.
Yeah, pull over, turn off the engine immediately.
Yeah, I mean,
come on, people.
Yeah,
like common sense has to kick in. You cannot make it. It's not a joke. It's going to cost you a fortune if you don't do this.
I've come to the realization that most cars are more intelligent than the drivers now. That's me included. That's me included. I'm less intelligent than the car that I drive, and it's a van. But the engine failed. Long story short, needs an engine. So we found a second-hand engine, which is a much more cost-effective in terms of time.
Where'd you find this?
Repair in a second-hand engine yard in Sharjah.
Okay.
Found the engine, gave a price.
Yeah.
And the price was X.
Yeah.
So gave that to the customer. As I say, good customer, good friend.
Yeah.
Reliable, regular business from this guy, and he comes in, no problem. Comes back to me and he's quite open and honest and says, look, the car's not worth much more than what the repair's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a look around. Excellent, no problem.
Yeah.
A few days later, found one.
Okay.
In the garage, in Sharjah, they'll fit it for half. What have you said? Can you do any better on your price? No, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Because
you're already at the margin.
We deal with who we deal with on second-hand engines. We cannot take a risk. Okay, can you get everything ready? I'll take the car there. I said, that's fine. I'll bring it back to you to make sure that... So this is the first... I'll bring it back to you to make sure they've done the job right. Yeah, of course, no problem. No hard feelings, not a problem. We'll see you for service, we know. But you've got to save... We're talking a big amount of money.
Yeah.
It's half the price, right? 3 months later.
3 months, that's a good time.
After various... problems in between of now they're saying my turbo's failed and they've done this and that and this and that,
and he kept taking it back to the same.
Car is still not out. It's not been going back. It's not out. 3 months later.
No. Yeah,
comes to us, not starting, and I'm just going to pull it out. Can you just sort it? Comes to us, battery's dead, and I mean shorted out, dead because it's been left there. The turbo, as I said, they've already had a problem with. So we get the battery on it, get it to start, oil light on, oil pump not working, no oil pressure.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the turbo had failed, because it had been running with no oil pressure.
Nice.
The steering rack had been butchered where they'd taken the engine out and smashed the end off it. And 2 of the engine mountings were not bolted in because the threads had been pulled out and they just thought, forget it. And then 1 bolt that was sheared off, they glued the head onto where it should have gone.
Is this a legitimate garage?
I don't know. I don't know where
you don't know.
I don't know.
You don't want to know at this point.
Well, and the car's come back now, and we've had the car has now got to be scrapped.
So it's clearly not
that money's already been paid. Man. That was half the amount we were going to pay, and we were going to charge more than what we were going to say, and it also still needs a new engine. And that's not that isn't a I'm just going to tell you this because it's a really memorable one. That's every couple of months we get one like that.
Yikes!
Not always an engine situation, it was something else. But what are we supposed to do? Yeah. Like, as I say, good friend, good customer.
Yeah.
Totally understand and empathise.
So what?
But do you not just sound like a salesman saying,
Yeah.
really don't go there and let us do it? You just sound like you're trying to, it's
Yeah,
easy
yeah.
for me to
And-
say, I'm
and-
selling it and obviously making a profit.
Yeah. No, and I hear it. I hear you, but it's you're there's this is the dilemma: is you can save the money, and everyone wants to save the money, but is it going to be done correctly? And this is another example of no, it's not, because they can do it at half the price, which means they have to be cutting corners.
Yeah.
Or they simply don't know what the job is, so it costs less because they don't know what they're doing. And boom, 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 all boxes got checked here. So what's the outcome now?
He's going to scrap it. He's going to put it through Copart auction.
Wow.
As a sold as seen for spares.
Wow. What a shame.
If it went and got weighed in as scrap, you'd probably get 3,000 dirhams for the car.
Wow, that's sad. That's sad.
I mean, it's got a gearbox on it, which is worth new 50k.
Yeah.
You know, second hand maybe 10k, but nobody's going to take the time out to do that.
That's sad. That makes me cry.